Hey guys, today we're going to talk about PlusArchitect. Now, it hasn't been released yet. It is an upgrade from PlusSpec Pro, and we're going to have Grant log in very, very shortly to talk about it, and we're going to do some questions and answers and see who he is now. All right. Grant, how are you?
Good, Andrew. How are yourself?
Good, man. Good. Hey, today we're going to talk about PlusArchitect and a couple of the key differences and advantages. I'm going to get you to share a screen, maybe show us some of the toolbars, and if we've got time, have a quick run through of some of those little toys that the bonuses that enable everyone to get a little bit more done in less time, more accurately. Anyway, all right. So do you want to share your screen first?
Yep.
Just a blank SketchUp screen, default tray closed, maybe. Yep. Beautiful. Okay. And at the top there, you've got PlusArchitect. And do you want to just quickly run us through some of those tool changes there for PlusArchitect?
Yep. So with PlusArchitect, first one here, we've got the levels and layers tool.
Yep.
First time user. And this one.
So when you use it for the first time, what did that just come up with? Was that
So I was just saying, for any brand new tool, for any user, so any first time using the tool, essentially you'll get that notification coming up and also, hey, you want to check out some tutorials, something like that. So that way you get you up
and you watch them and it takes you to a video tutorial.
Correct. Same as how these would take you to tutorials.
Right. Same and if you don't want to see them again, what do you do?
Just click no.
No. Okay.
So it'll come up twice. The first time it'll come up, say, hey, new one. Have it one more time, hey, you sure? One more time, and then that's it. So twice, and after that, one, it won't appear again for that tool.
All right. So levels and layers tool. Tell us a bit about it. What does it do?
So what it does, it allows you to have different levels set up through your model. So depending on how you want to set it up, you can have it as your ground floor, first floor, second floor, etc. as your different levels, or you could go through and say your site, your slab, your walls, however you want to set it up.
Yep.
And it allows you to manage the different parts of your model. So if your ground floor walls or the second story walls, the height changes, instead of having to select all the geometry, then move everything up and then everything like that.
Yep.
You can just change in here, level height. You can make an adjustment and the geometry will move. You will still need to adjust the top of the walls.
With the wall tool. Yep.
With the wall tool. Yep. Except if you're using the skillion roof, you can project and join to that, and that's in.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that a bit more because that is a huge time saver for anyone who's actually creating sloping roofs. We might even give that one a quick demo. Okay, so just a quick question on levels and layers tool.
Yep.
Say for instance, I had my ground floor and I had all my bricks on and windows in and so on, and I put my second level on. Can I adjust which tags or layers I can see on individual levels? So if I turn the bricks off upstairs.
Yes, you can. Everything's separate. So like there was a constraint with the tags or the old layer system where if you turn a layer off, it'll turn the whole model off.
Yeah.
Whereas now in this, it'll later say level 1, say brickwork, turn it off.
That's
level 2, brickwork, turn off.
So you can just turn things off and which really makes a huge difference in being able to check out a model for sure.
Exactly. And if you're looking into the scheduling side of things, you can then turn framing off and you can actually sort of see the job getting built as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's cool. All right. So what else have we got in there? Is there anything else you want to touch on that?
So one other thing with this does a couple more little things is depending on what levels you've got selected when you have all the level heights assigned.
Yep.
If you have this tag as you draw enabled, it'll then allow you to draw at that level. So if we had this at 0.
Just quickly show us and do some walls,
3 meters. I'll just do 2. We'll get rid of remove this level.
Yep.
And we'll do that. So this one's at 0 and this one's at 3 meters. So if I have tag as I draw active, I can now also label it. I'll just do it as ground floor and first floor. I'll just draw some walls.
Yep.
Save an update.
So Grant, draw on level 2 to start with. That way people can see exactly what it does.
Yep. So go level 2. So if I got the wall tools, I've got the wall tools set up on shortcuts, which is another time saver as well. But up here. So I'll just move it to the side so we can see what we're doing. The first floor here, which is at 3 meters. So even if I draw right here, they get drawn up at 3 meters. So if I get my tape measure tool, coming down to here, it's at 3 meters. So if you're a fan of drawing from top down, you can do this now by doing it, having this set like this. So if you're tracing plans, inputting your plans, having them set at different levels, you can do that. Or
let's have a look at that with the 2D tool. Show us the 2D tool, the 2D mode, the first one.
2D, this one. Oh, 2D mode, so wrong one. Get that one.
Yep. Okay, so looking at a top down, this is a common problem with SketchUp. Let's draw some walls on ground floor. Just draw 4 walls in a loop. Yep.
All right. So we go here.
Yep. Okay. All right. And let's just on top of that, draw level 2.
Level 2.
Yep.
So click on level 2.
Just go half the way through it, so halve it or something, whatever.
Yep. So I'll just draw from outside, right arrow to adjust it. The things align.
Just go a couple right up there. Yep.
So I trace obviously the top of this wall.
Yep.
I now turn off the 2D mode.
Okay.
I'll put that 3 meters here because these walls are 2740.
Yep.
And the base of these walls, which is the base of the bottom plate.
Yep.
These walls is now placed at that 3 meter.
Righto. So if you put joists in between there and then you adjusted the height on the ground floor, it would actually lift the top floor with it, is what you're saying before.
Correct.
That's a huge time saver.
If I do this on level 2 as well, because you have to make sure that you're on the right level when you do the stuff. You go generate base of walls. I can see underneath it. I tend to do it this way.
Yep.
Floor joist, create joist. I'll just draw some ones quickly in. That's good. So we've got some floor joists in there now. Obviously, I didn't choose any sizes.
Yep.
But if I now go and edit this,
and
I want to change this to say 4 meters, I can write in 4 meters. Tab add or click out, same thing. Save an update.
Yep. Okay. Automatically moved it, and it moved the first wall you drew as well. That's kind of handy. It's organized. I think it gives more structure to SketchUp, especially for people that have come from programs like CAD or Revit or ArchiCAD. It just makes it a lot easier. I'm with you on that one. Okay.
And it's all relative as well. So if you had, say, a drop down, a split level, for example, it's just for an example, if this is down here, say 500 mil, I know obviously it wouldn't be, but just so we can show it. If I now change this back to 3 meters, say, they have an update, it keeps it in retrospect with everything. So it doesn't just set everything back at that level to 3 meters or whatever you're setting it to. It moves it, remembers what the original position was, and then what's the difference, and moves it in accordance that way.
Okay, just quickly, just expand on the right hand side. See where it says L1 GF, and you got expand on the right hand side of it in the toolbar.
Yep.
Yeah, click that. Okay, so tell me a bit about what that's doing. Just hit the brickwork one for me.
Yep. So I turn off brickwork here, brickwork there. It's turned off the brickwork down here. I can turn off the downstairs framing, or turn it back on, or I can turn the whole first floor off or on. So when it comes to scheduling the model, and if you want to go into that, or you want to see specific parts, if you just want to turn off all of this, you can turn it off. And that's really handy for, especially if this had a roof on it and everything had a roof, to try and get into here to then add walls and stuff. You can use the roof off scene. But you're still going to have the walls on and things like that.
So okay, so just turn all of level 1 or level 2 off for me. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
So I can do that. Come here.
And if you just want to work on your second story, click the ground floor off and first floor on.
It depends on what you're looking at. If you've got nothing above it, I wouldn't recommend it. Just it's one extra step you have to worry about redoing to re-add it back.
Maybe you didn't hear what I said. Yep. Okay. All right. Cool, man. Okay. Well, that's good. So that's the levels and layers tool. Gives you a lot of organization. Okay. What's our next tool? Is there anything else you want to touch on that?
That's pretty much everything with this tool. It allows you to do.
Let's move on then, mate. Yep. Choppy chop.
So we've got the layer. We'll go to the scene tool next, I think, so it's going to be needed.
Okay. Yep.
Get rid of that. So next with the scene tools, I've made a few little changes with this.
And these are in PlusArchitect and Plus Design Build, but not in PlusSpec Pro, right?
These ones are just handy to have. These ones are in there, yes. Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Yep. So what these changes? So everything above here is all the same as before, but these new fields down here, these highlighted ones.
Okay.
So what they allow you to do, instead of having all the different scenes across the top of your screen, it just allows a little bit more flexibility. So rather than having, always having a basement or a second floor, if you're doing a single story, it's not the case anymore. You can now say, I've only got one story, for example, above ground. So we've specified above ground being from the axes here. We always say draw ground floor, bottom of the walls at that level. It just makes it a whole lot easier. And it's also good for our SketchUp setup as well.
Okay, so in this case here, we've got 2 levels, and those levels are at 3 meters. So you got 2 levels, 2
meters.
And you don't have a basement, so you can have none, I guess.
Correct.
0.
So none. So this one.
But if you did have a basement, you could have multiple levels of basements as well, and the plans are automatically going to work to suit the height, right?
Because all the section cuts have been made to whatever the thing is, plus 1500.
Yep.
Or 1500 mil, or whatever that is in inches. I'm not sure for the Imperial users, but yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. And with the demolition scene, I noticed the next one says include demolition scene. Do you want to make that wall on the left-hand side by itself a demolished wall? We'll go to see all.
See all, yep.
And
This
so the
one's
wall, that one there, make that demolish. So just so we can see what that means. Because I think a lot of people don't realize that if you're doing extensions, renovations, or you're using existing sites, sometimes you want to demolish something. So it'd be interesting to just show everyone what that means.
Yep. So we got there, demolition, and you can do electrical and animation as well. It's the same deal.
Yep.
Click submit.
Yep.
Let the scenes generate. And now up here, obviously normally on this screen, I would have a few more over the side here with animation and everything else. And now it's a bit easier to see, especially for small
reduce the amount of scenes. Yep. Copy.
Correct.
Okay. Let's have a look at demolition plan.
Floor plan
2. All right. So that one's gone red. Basically, that's really handy, isn't it? You can change that color if you want to, from what I understand, but
yep. So change that's just in the color by layers. I think it's documentation. I can't remember where that one is actually.
Yeah, that's right. We'll show it in the tutorials when we do it. We're not doing a tutorial. Yep, there you go.
It's right there.
Right. Okay, cool. All right. So now we've got, go to your first floor plan.
First floor plan.
Yep. Okay. And then your second floor plan. Right. That's a lot easier. Look, we still recommend everyone draws at the XY axis. Do you want to show what that is, Grant? Just go to present.
It won't be on that one. It'll be on this one here, right here.
So if we start our finished floor level at 0, and I harp on about this a little bit, everything will now work and automatically be created for your 2D documentation.
Correct.
Huge benefit.
Correct.
Okay, that's going to make it a lot easier. A lot of people struggle with SketchUp. Look, some people that are watching this don't even use 3D software before. So I guess you guys are just going to have to take it from us that we've spent a lot of time thinking about how we would go about making it easier for you to actually get documentation out of a SketchUp model. And it's organized. So everything is organized in a way. So Grant, even if you hit structure there, the struct tab, right? Even though you may not want to see it, it is there if you need to see it, and it's organized without you having to go and create a whole heap of tags and then organize those tags and then create scenes and so on. Can you go to the elevation scene for me, Grant? Okay, so we're looking at an elevation here, but you can also change the line styles and everything the same way as you would in SketchUp. So you could actually have your styles changed so that you had black and white, or you had, color, or even endpoints. You want to extend your lines and make it look like it was hand drawn. This will do that pretty efficiently, and you can save these type of scenes up. There we go. Endpoints, yep, and maybe extensions as well. All right, and you can see turn the extensions to, say, I don't know, 9. Right, and you wouldn't do that, but you can do that if you want to. So there's a lot of flexibility in the way that you display it in your 2D plans, and you can save and update those as well. If you just go back and click elevation, it'll just go back to where you were before, right? There you go.
Since we didn't save it, didn't update the scene.
Correct. All right. What else have we got there, Grant?
So I guess while we've got some walls here, I guess we can show some project and join, I think, with the roof, with the skillion roof. Yep. So I'll just do one just up on here.
Yep.
Skillion roof.
Sloping roof, as the Americans would call it. Yep.
Shed roof or something, I believe. So we'll go to 10 degrees.
Yep.
And we'll do it from here, this side here being the low side.
Yep. Go all the way out to the far wall, Grant. Go
to this one?
Come out to that corner there. Yeah, that's all right. No? Yeah. All right, and go halfway and back in, and that way we can see what happens on multiple walls.
Where are we going?
You're gonna have to split that wall if you do that. That's okay. That'll work. Okay. Righto. Just do the top story first so we can show everyone.
Yep. So you select your roof and then select your walls.
Yep.
Right click, roof. Where is
walls,
it?
I think it's under.
Walls, wall operation. Oh, there you go. Project wall to roof.
Yep. If
you want to have rake ceilings and stuff, you can tick these. I'm just going to leave it at that for now.
Okay.
And it'll project it up to the pitching point. So
go to the structure tab so we can see what happened behind the scenes.
Structure.
Okay. That saves a lot of time. What happens if you want to just go to all, and what happens if you want to send that ground floor wall up to it?
So we do that. Select both again. Walls, wall operation, project wall to roof. Submit.
Okay. Kind of handy, right?
very
You could
handy.
have split that wall if you wanted to on the eve, but yeah, okay, that's good. Well, let's not get too caught in it. What else have we got there, Grant?
So we've got, whilst we're still in the SketchUp model here, I think we'll go to custom window and doors.
Okay.
So it's a relatively new feature. So essentially what it is the same for doors here, but it's this icon here, and the door's the exact same, just with the door icon. What it allows you to do is, instead of having to place a window or door inside of a wall, you can place it anywhere. So I can draw this, what is this, a sliding window. I can draw it over here from 2 points, or I can enter in 2 meters, hit enter. It's showing a 2 meter window.
What if you want to couple another window onto that? Say you want to put a double hung next to it.
Double hung, that one there. There, let's say it's another meter. There, I didn't line up 100% correctly, but
they line up from the center, don't they? It depends on the width.
Center, yeah. So yeah, I drew it from this external corner, so that was wrong there. How I did it, but yeah, look at that. If you want to keep them together, I'd say maybe
you can put a highlight on top of that as well, I guess.
Correct. So let's make that just a fixed window. And if we wanted to go as height,
don't worry about it, Grant. Just put it in. Yeah. So you can change the heights and everything, is what Grant was going to show you. I think everyone gets the idea. So you could actually create shop front windows from this in between columns or whatever you wanted to. And away you go. I'm assuming they're going to turn up in the window schedule as well.
They should do, yeah, as well. So in there, they still work the exact same as they do there. And what this will, if you do want to put this into a wall, you just create the opening as normal, and then you can place this in like this, or you can do as
you want to show us how to do that. Look, just put one window in, then create one window with none in that wall. So yeah.
So we get that window.
Probably going to be at 2200 high because you got 2 1100s, haven't you? Doesn't matter. Just put one in now anyway.
Yep. So you got one in.
Yep.
Go 1500.
Yeah, and on the next one, change your header height to say 2400 and make it 1100.
1100.
Be 2 times 1100, 2200. Sorry.
So change that, and it'll be the none option.
Yeah. Guys, just so you know, I'm actually doing this off cuff. We haven't rehearsed this or anything. Grant's doing this as I say it. Righto. So you can group those other windows together, right? And put them in there.
Yeah, you can group them together. I'll draw them again because it's really quick to do so. So we got this. Let's just draw one with a, what do we got here? Our height's up here, 1100. So we're good there. We'll draw it from there. Let's just draw one halfway.
Yep. Put a different type next to it. Yep.
Double hung right next to it. Right there. And tracing the top point. There we go.
There you go. Custom window. Ready? End of the open and close still?
Yep. Still work exactly the same as how they would normally. I might have done that one the wrong way, but yeah.
Yep. Cool.
But you can do that. To make it easier, you can group them together, but just if you do that, you'll have to go inside it to edit it, because these can be edited as well. If you're not happy with this being a fixed window, right click, window and door, edit custom window.
Yep.
And you might want to change that to, I don't know, wouldn't do this, but change the stacker.
Do it anyway.
Give it a second.
Yep. And what have we got next?
We do have the IFC tool. I don't have an IFC model on me to show it, but what this tool does allow you to do is, so if you've got a Revit or an ArchiCAD file from someone, they give it to you as an IFC model, you can then import it, and then you can view it as normal, and it will also organize it as well, so you can turn layers on and off and things like that.
Let me explain that a little bit. So IFC stands for Industry Foundation Class, and essentially all CAD programs, or any decent CAD programs, would enable you to export an IFC model. So if somebody that you're using, a draftsman or a new client or someone like that, has a 3D model, you ask them to export via IFC, and you can import it into here. And not only will it import it, it will organize it, and it will also optimize it. It'll take any excess geometry out that you don't need. And if using Plus Design Build, you can actually click a takeoff button and it will quantify things in the IFC. And there's some exciting things coming very soon that'll enable you to do a whole heap more. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to it below, and we've got some exciting news for you coming soon. Anyway, moving forwards, so we can import an IFC file, Revit, ArchiCAD, Vectorworks. As long as it's done in IFC, we can import it and we can do things with it then. Save a heap of time if something's already done, especially if you're a builder or, somebody else has started a design and handed over the copyright or something like that. What have we got next there, Grant? There's a little icon there right next to the there. What's that one do?
So this is the model viewer. So what it will allow this allows you to do is it'll create a file which can be sent to clients or anybody for them to open, so they don't need to have SketchUp open anymore, or download it and to use that. Just has a whole heap of time sending to clients. They can view it. I've got a couple of example ones.
Yeah, look, just quickly hit this one while we're looking at it, just so there's no smoke and mirrors here. Let's have a look at what it's done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll have a quick look at that and open up. Here we go. Okay, so to explain this, guys, we're inside of a browser, which could be Internet Explorer. It could be, what's the new Windows one they call?
Ooh, Edge.
Yeah, Chrome. A whole heap of different browsers. Now, this is the model that Grant's just quickly drawn there. But we could let's look at it in the structural view. Yep. Okay. Now, you wouldn't want to show this to clients. I don't think it's necessary, but if you're talking with builders and you sometimes, like I'm a builder and sometimes we don't read the plans as well as we probably should. And then we ring up and say, this plan doesn't work. Well, the truth is, if I had to probably spend a bit more time, and a lot of times I rush, this enables you to communicate how you would see it from a structural perspective. Now, being a designer and so on, it isn't your job to actually get involved in structure. However, this is just typical construction methods, and it could be something you use as a conversation piece between a subcontractor or a carpenter and so on. But I wouldn't show that to the clients, and we will have the structural view edited out when we actually release PlusArchitect. It'll give you the choice to deliver what it is you want to show. But you've got client presentation, you've got navigation view. What's navigation view do?
So what this will have is every scene that's in the model. So if you did want to have an all model that you're working with, then a client presentation model that is stripped out or whatever, they'll only get what's in that model. Yep. So over here, if we just had elevations, they can then see what it's going to look like.
Yep.
Obviously, all presentations, same thing. Yes, with the structure view and everything's in here. The demo floor plans and stuff. The colors are still a bit funny there, but elevation 2. That's
At the end of the day, basically what you've got is a communication tool where your customer doesn't have to have a specific piece of software. Most people would have a browser that they look at the internet on their computer, and you can open this in a browser, and that saves you a whole heap of times. You'll also notice there's other things called layers at the top there. We'll just quickly jump through that. Let's just turn the roof off,
Roof, let's go roof group.
Yep. Okay, and that just turned the roof off inside of it. So there's a fair bit of ability for the end user to have a good look at what you've designed. Let's have a look at probably a nicer model, Grant, because it's something we just quickly smashed together there.
Yeah, so we've got one. This one's going to be actually double click on that.
Yep. Okay, so there are instructions. Those instructions show you how to do whatever it is that you want to do.
Presentation.
Okay. Righto. Look, I think if a customer can't, visualize this on their block, the customer is going to be difficult. It's probably more of an in-office experience. However, I think once a customer gets the understanding, you could then very, very quickly continue to communicate with them, which could save a drive. How far is this customer from your home, Grant?
This one is 20 minutes, but I've got other ones which, an hour. So
that's 40 minutes of your time, plus an hour of your time. There's an hour and 40 out of your day gone, just to show an iteration of a plan that it all saved with this in exported. What does a model size like this take to export and put into this viewer?
Well, this model roughly here was
just 2 minutes, 5 minutes. 10?
Time. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay. So it took you 30 seconds to create it, another 30 seconds to write an email with a link, and then they can view it.
Correct. And they can make comments and make it a whole lot easier rather than having to meet up, and it just makes the whole process easier.
This is a game changer. I also noticed you got sections there, Grant. Could you run a section there for me?
Yep. I've got to remember to use these ones. It's
all right. Keep going.
There we go.
Let's have a look in there. Hello. So you've got everything is inside of that model. Wow. This is huge for collaboration and communication in my eyes. I really think that customers are going to love this, and I think that a lot of architects are going to get a lot of benefit, and building designers and builders are going to get a lot of benefit out of this, whether using PlusArchitect or Plus Design Build. But it's important to know that these features aren't coming into PlusSpec Pro. These are just the upgraded features for the upgraded packages. All right, Grant, let's go back to SketchUp. I think there might have been a couple more things, was there, that you wanted to show in PlusArchitect?
Only last thing here was just going to be about the layout tool.
Okay, yep. Just explain that. We won't go right through it, but the layout tool.
Yep. So layout tool, this one here. So
Yep.
it's 2D construction doc export tool.
So while you're showing people, I'm going to talk about what this does. Essentially, guys, getting from a 3D model to 2D documentation and having it accurate is difficult. What this tool enables you to do is to choose the paper size, whether it's going to be in portrait or landscape. It allows you to put the scale of the individual drawing, so you can have multiple pages. So you're going to have 3 viewports on a page in this instance, and you can see you can change from present mode to viewport. So this will be the plan. So you might say elevation 1, 2, and 3 on this plans, all at 1 and 100. You might have a detail that needs to be at 1 at 20. You can change the scales individually, and it'll automatically create pages for you in layout, ready for dimensioning. And there is an auto dimension functionality there as well.
Mm-hmm. There is one other feature as well, which needs to be done before this, which is the high res section hatching as well.
Okay, that's not about. What do you want to just quickly put some high res section hatching in there, Grant?
Yep. So go to floor plan 1.
Yep.
Turn on the section plane. Right click section hatching.
All right. And you can choose a different style, or you can add your own style material hatching.
Yep. So this top section here, the face options, is just for inside of SketchUp.
Yep.
And then what this one down here, it's the exact same fields as above.
Yep.
But what these are the high res images. So here you can change it to whatever you want. These ones can't be imported or created.
They're black. All right. Move on. So stud frame, black. Can you just change it to pink for me?
Make this one pink, but it'll be red inside of layout.
Yep.
Do that. There we go.
Okay.
So it's there.
Yep.
Now that I've done this, I tend to go back to presentation, save the model, because I'm going to do that as well. We'll just save it on desktop. Untitled's fine for now. Then go to the layout tool again.
Yep.
I'll just do what we did before.
Do you want to just hit auto dimension on the ground floor as well?
Yep. So ground floor 1. Auto.
So all Grant's doing is choosing which scenes, and across the top you can see there's things called scenes. On those scenes, we can go through and basically put in multiple viewports in a scene.
So you can also input your own templates if you got it. We're just going to use the one that comes.
So what Grant's doing is setting up from sort of scratch here at the moment, but essentially you can save a template. So you might have a 2-story template, a single-story template, or you can see he's got one there above. Yep.
Yep. So if I wanted to add a new one, I'll just click add, or if I've got one selected, I can click update, and whichever one is selected will be the one that's updating.
Okay.
Right, so we've got all that. Click submit. That's fine.
Okay, and what's happening now?
Just creating the layout file. Once this message appears, it's telling you it's created. It'll then open up the location. I called it untitled. There it is, untitled _ PlusSpec.
Date modified, yeah. Give it a second. What that's going to do is actually, so, and inside of here, you're going to have obviously you need a place to put your business name and all those type of things as a template. We put in a basic template, but people can edit this template. Is that correct, Grant? And then have their own graphics, design, logo, and all of that type of thing in here.
Correct.
Yep. Okay. Let's have a look at one of the other sheets. So you got your elevations there. There's 3 elevations on the page at 1 to 100. So if you dimension that now, that's going to be to scale, right?
Yep. So dimension from there to there. 6552. If I go back to SketchUp, this right here. Yeah. 6552.
Okay, good. And what about the resolution? If you want to change the resolution to say a higher resolution in layout.
So in this one,
there's like a jagged line in the bottom of the window there. If you go to vector mode, you can change
SketchUp model. Vector.
Well, I'll probably go even raster even, but and you can change your line weight.
Yep. So the line weight will only work in vector or hybrid.
Yep.
I always change mine to 0.2.
Yep. Okay.
And then it's a lot cleaner than what it was.
And you can turn things off and on, right? So in the latest versions of SketchUp, you can actually go through and turn things off. So if you went through and turned the roof off, your roof's gone inside of your 2D documentation without you going back to SketchUp. And that's a huge benefit.
It's massive when it comes to site plans, because the overhang of the roof, you can't hit your walls, you turn that off, and then all you do is go reset. Resets back to whatever was in the scene.
I think a lot of people don't realize how powerful SketchUp in combination with PlusArchitect or Plus Design Build can be, because guys, you know, we're just quickly playing around here and showing you some new features, but just go to the floor plan anyway, Grant. Well, I'm not sure if you put a floor plan in there, did you?
Yep, this is the one we made it the red.
Okay, that was the red. Yep, and the other one you made it pink, didn't you?
No, that was just in SketchUp. It was pink. Okay, because the pink option wasn't there. Yeah.
So essentially, to get to here, guys, it's just using that new tool that's in PlusArchitect and Plus Design Build only. And essentially, you can notice it's gone through and actually dimensioned those window locations up for us, and done a whole heap of work that just takes ages to do in most CAD programs. Yet I'm doing this unprompted. Grant didn't have a list. We didn't talk about this before we're going to do it. We're just doing it as we go. So a whole heap of work done in less time. And I think it's what it's all about. We kind of need to take a bit of our life back these days and, you know, get what's important across to the client. And I think the 3D model viewer really does enable you to do that. But we know we need documentation for council. And this is a really good way to get that information across. Grant, do you want to add anything to that? Is there anything else that we want to go through in PlusArchitect? Guys, just so you know, there's probably 500 different variations and improvements that have been made in the latest software. We can't go through them all now, just going through a couple of them. But is there anything else major that you wanted to talk about, Grant?
Not major. Just wanted one little point, just with the section hatching now.
Yep.
So we've scaled the section hatching, because before there were issues when this wasn't here, you know, say not there. Trying to dimension on this, mainly when it came to openings, Laird had a little bit of trouble trying to find the points when dimensioning. So now you can dimension off this section really, really easy.
Yeah, okay. It's
can be a whole lot quicker, a whole lot easier. So for all
more importantly.
Exactly. And it saves a bunch of time with that. So I just wanted to make a note of that, because I don't know.
And just quickly on that, you'll notice that the bottom dimension is 623 and the top 773. Why is that? I can tell you why. Is a 160 cavity, isn't it?
This one here.
Yeah, because it's dimension from the frame. There you go.
Frame.
Now that's a good thing. Like, you know what? Dimensioning from the outside of bricks for builders is a real pain in the backside, because we actually start with the frame before the bricks go up. So that is actually an excellent way to work it out. Now, if we had to spend more time, you're drawing this up. Obviously, you put the windows in to suit brick spacings. But the best thing is you can dimension individually or from frame and get the accurate measurements straight off the bat. All right, Grant, good job, mate. Is it nothing else you want to quickly show us? We're all done.
That's all the really cool things, really big things. Yeah, they're good.
Good job, man. There's a lot of pressure involved in someone doing that and making you do it. 10 out of 10. Anyway, guys, if you want to see more of this content, below you can subscribe to the channel. And we look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing what you can come up with in PlusArchitect. All right, guys. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.